Hi, I'm CJ Elmberg with Transwest Truck Trailer RV in Frederick, Colorado. We've got a brand new Cimarron 2+1 sitting behind us here. This is a 2025 model. These have been such great sellers for us. We put a ton of options on them. It is amazing. I've been at this over a decade now. When I started, we just carried kind of one of these standard 2+1s. Not a lot of extras and bells and whistles on it. It typically had a manual crankjack on it, and now it's evolved to what we have sitting behind us here. This is probably by far our most popular and easiest trailer to sell, and the one that everybody wants just because of all the cool features it has that are actually functioning options on it as well. So before we start walking through this trailer, let's go ahead and take a look at the drawing. I want to show you some specs on it. What we're looking at is that 2+1 setup, so that 2-horse straight load with the box stall, front tack room. This trailer is 24.5 foot on the floor. It's the standard width, 6'10" wide. This trailer is 7'10" tall. So if you got big horses, this trailer is set up that way for you. So let's walk you through it. I'm going to show you all the cool options on this and all these unique functionality of these options that we put on this trailer. So the Cimarron, your all aluminum construction. You have an 8-year structure warranty, 3-year hardware warranty, 1 year no questions asked warranty on your tires. Now this trailer is tall. We mentioned that 7'10" tall. So you're going to notice on the profile of the nose here that we went with the V-nose option. What I love about Cimarron's V-nose is it doesn't come to this really abrupt point right here where the coupler is, where you lose some storage up there in the nose. It has a little bit of a radius to it. So we'll show you from the inside on what it does for storage, but more importantly, it's just the way the way this trailer pulls. I mean, we're talking, this trailer is air ride equipped. It's extra tall, so it can actually catch some of that wind, but by having that V-nose, it does make a massive difference on the way the trailer pulls, and also miles per gallon. So at some point here, we haven't had it for a good 4 or 5 years, have 2 of these just like the same dimensions, height and width, with the standard nose and the V-nose. We'd love to get them out on the road and really do some testing ourselves just to see how much of a difference it really makes. But we do know it does make a difference. So underneath the gooseneck, this guy here, like I mentioned, we used to do these with a manual crankjack. This guy here has the electric over hydraulic option by Equalizer with the manual override. This is the same version we use here through our parts and service department. So if you see a trailer here that you're like, that's the perfect trailer, just wish it had that power jack on it, we can always put that on there after the fact. But the manual override for emergency situations is a nice feature as well. With it, you're going to get the aluminum battery box, 12-volt battery. This box is also going to house a couple other items. So first and foremost, there's your battery. There's your battery disconnect. That comes standard with it. So when you go to park this trailer, it's got a lot of lights on it. So if you leave a light on, you can reach up, turn that guy off. It'll kill all power, saving your battery. You're also going to get your RedArc charger. That became standard shortly after the 25 models came out. That's a supercharger. And by what I mean is your truck always used to be a trickle charger to your battery whenever you're hooked up in these type of systems. But this RedArc charger is a true 3-staging charger. Look, it is going to keep that battery nice and charged up for you, getting a lot of life and longevity to it. Also just tells us if we have power coming from the truck. So it's got kind of some nice features that we can just kind of tell those type of features as far as, hey, I don't have power coming from the truck, what's going on? Then we can kind of start figuring out what the issue is. Over to the right of that battery is going to be that onboard self-contained compressor for the air ride system. We're going to talk about the benefits of the air ride, but as far as right here, we have on, off, lower, raise. You have your gauge. Underneath is where you're actually going to drain this system when you turn it off, because what it'll do is air will create condensation, and we want to get it out of there so we don't have it freeze and crack and causing issues. But this is really easy to use. We've got some walkthrough videos really condensed on how to operate it and how to shut it down properly that we can send to you if you want. But again, I'm going to talk more about air ride when we get back to the trailer part of it, especially the axles. So stay tuned for that. Now, on these trailers, a lot of these using trailers, we want to take a look at the gooseneck drop wall. And the reason why is because a little history lesson. Early 2000s, the gooseneck drop wall was 47 inches. That was standard. Well, what happened? All the trucks changed body style. All the trucks got taller. So finally, the trailer manufacturers changed. Typically, they're like, especially the Cimarrons, they changed their gooseneck drop wall to a 50-inch gooseneck drop wall as standard. Well, what's happened over the last, 5-6 years? Fords and Rams got taller truck beds, and then GMs changed their body style. They went up about 2.5 inches. So one of the challenges is we always want these trailers to run level with plenty of bed clearance. We don't want to tear up the bed on one of these really expensive new trucks. Now, what we've done is we've made this one a 53-inch gooseneck drop wall. That 3 inches, yes, it does eat into the nose a little bit, but we're also talking a 7'10" tall trailer. So we really don't lose a whole lot of storage. We actually gain because of the extra height, but that 3 inches you're not even gonna notice. Where you're gonna notice it is when you hook up to one of these new trucks, we can adjust that coupler, making sure we have plenty of bed clearance and making sure the trailer's running level on those two axles, equal weight distribution. That's what we want. We don't want this trailer running level with minimal bed clearance to tear up a bed. We also don't want it nosed way up to get you bed clearance to run on that back axle. That's not the point. So you have two axles, you paid for them, we need to use them. So that is a 53-inch gooseneck drop wall. Makes a big difference on these trailers, truly, with the new trucks that we see out there. Now on the tack room, we used to, again, same thing, a little bit of a history on it. We used to run with just a 4-foot straight wall tack. Now we've extended it to a 5-foot, give you a little bit more room. We wanted a lot more features to it. You're gonna have a nice fold-up step, so it's easier getting in and out of this trailer. Look at where I'm standing, look at where the door frame is. Nobody wants to carry saddles, other tack, your totes, anything like that to make that big step. So the fold-up step is really nice to break that transition. It's on a gas shock. I'll show you when we leave this tack room how easy it is to shut up. Brush tray on the door. If you want to put it like a door organizer on there, you can, but at least you got some smaller miscellaneous items in there. Right now I've got the Cimarron booklet, I've got a hose in there. So as you can see, you can throw like brushes, ointments, fly sprays, anything like that, just kind of nice and organized. I've seen some people go in and add like a second brush tray as well, but again, a lot of options there. But then as we come in, again, this one here is gonna be a little bit bigger tack room. As we look straight across from the door, we're gonna have this recess post into the wall with 3 saddle racks and then 3 blanket poles. These are all adjustable. So if I want to change sequencing, spacing, anything like that, if I don't even want them, you throw your saddles in totes. Just need these out of the way to give yourself a little bit more space in here. You just undo the bolts, slide them to the top, and out they go. Just store them somewhere nice and safe to where down the road, if you ever sell it, trade it, we'll want to see these come back in. So just make sure there's somewhere where you can access them. Up in the gooseneck area, again, ton of storage. Even with this being a V nose, there is a lot of storage because of the depth of the Cimarron noses as well. They're 8'2" long, where a lot of competitors will run a 7'6", 7'8". So you can imagine really shortening this tongue itself, the actual gooseneck area, and then also bringing it to an abrupt point, you lose storage this direction and then lengthwise. But there is a ton up there. It's carpeted all the way around. You got an LED light up there, and then we have a clothes bar. That's a nice long clothes bar there, so you can hang clothes. Because of the height of the trailer, from this gooseneck drop wall up there, ton of space to throw items in there. Then as you come down, you're gonna have the boot box. So 12-inch boot box. Right now we've actually got the feeders, the corner feeders in there for the stall area. But this is a great place to throw kind of some of those smaller items that just kind of shift around maybe. Just trying to keep things organized. You can use it as a step hopping up into this gooseneck area, and then also a bench. You're gonna have a water tank. So you saw that hose. So with that, you're gonna get this 48-gallon half moon water tank. The half moons work really well on like straight walls, so like a flat wall or a 90-degree corner. To where on our slant load trailers, they've got a corner water tank. It's a 25-gallon. It works really well on those. But this one here is just gravity feed. Fill from the top. Put a ball valve on the end of that hose that you saw on the door there. attach it to it, fill your buckets up outside. You're traveling with water. You have water from home if you have somebody that is kind of finicky with what they want to drink. And then also you get to an event and you might go, where the heck's the hydrant? Well, it's a, you know, 1/8 of a mile away or something like that. And then I got to pack buckets back to the trailer. Nope, you got them right here on the trailer itself. On the partition wall, fully carpeted there as well. Couple rows of hooks. These are aluminum powder coated, so they're really stout. These are designed by Cimarron, so I really like the height of them, the spacing, and then the depth off the wall. You know, some of the bridle hooks that you see out there are really small, you know, not a big hook to actually hang items on. So if you're carrying a lot of stuff with you, a lot of that usually we see in trade pictures when they bring it in, a lot of it's fallen off. But again, those are really stout and really well made by Cimarron. And then you do have a pass-through door that goes into that box stall from the tack room. So if you want to actually transition from, you know, one area to the next, maybe you're traveling and you got just the 2 horses loaded on the back, you just want to peek in, you can do that. You know, again, just giving you options where if you can need to bounce between the two, you've got it there. And then there's one more LED light above the door. So again, plenty of light coverage up in the nose and then in this tack room itself. On the floor there, that's a gray rubber tread. You'll see that a lot as some really high traffic areas, stairways. I've seen it airports, hotels, anything like that. We started incorporating that on a lot of our livestock trailers and brought it over here to the horse trailers because, one, I don't like carpet. That's me. I don't like carpet on the floor because it holds odor, it holds stains. So I prefer either the rubber mats or this. And I actually prefer this more because on the edges it's sealed. It's all one piece. To where on the rubber mats, you have to kind of fit them, maybe even cut them, maybe even have multiple. Dirt can still get underneath them. There's the fold-up step on a gas shock, really easy to operate. This one here is white sheeted. That's standard. If you want to go with a different color option, in fact, we have a black one, almost just like this sitting on the lot. So there is some other options for you. You can do some custom colors. If you want graphics, maybe to match a truck color, you know, or graphics or some farm logos, those type of items, we have a sister company that can help you out with that as well. We kind of like to leave them as a blank canvas for you. So if you wanted to do that, I'm not guessing you have a blue truck and I put maroon stickers on here and then you don't like it. So if you want blue stickers, not a problem, we can do that. Going back to the stall area there, that box stall, we have this ramp going in, and then this one is actually a fold-up door rather than the Dutch style. It's on a gas shock, and it does have the window here as well. So if you're utilizing this first box stall with the horse in there and you need a little bit more airflow, you've got that. But you've got the ability to load from the back, walk right off the side with the side ramp, throw other items here in this box stall area. We like to make sure we have enough length in this box stall so when we open up these stud gates themselves and lock them over, it does not interfere with this opening. In fact, there's about a 6-inch gap between this door frame and where that door is. We like that, so again, horses just going on and off this trailer, they don't have to worry about anything interfering with them there. So right about the head, on each side of this trailer, where the horses are loaded, you're gonna have a drop-down feed door. So you have this nice, big, heavy-duty feed door here. You see all the framework around them. These guys are stout. They have done such a good job building these. These are probably gonna be open and closed about almost every time you use this trailer, so they need to hold up. You're also gonna get the drop-down jail bar. It's just in a track up there. They've done a great job on getting this track to where that jail bar actually, you know, stays in there, and when you're open and closed, it's tipped back so it wants to stay away from that little groove they have cut in there. But a lot of airflow because of this guy right here. Now, axles. So we have two 7,000-pound axles. Again, this is that air ride system I was telling you about. So this guy here, let's talk about brakes and tires and wheels, and then we'll circle back to the air ride. So electric brakes on this guy. So you need an integrated brake controller or aftermarket. We could help you out with that. 17.5-inch wheels, aluminum spoke with an 18-ply tire. We've kind of transitioned to these 17.5s. And then again, it was just more of an aesthetics look to the trailer because it's 7'10" tall. So a really tall trailer, and then air ride, so it picks it up. The 16-inch wheels just looked off. They didn't look like they fit the trailer. So we started putting some 17.5s on these guys. Much better look to it. Besides that, you're gonna get a much heavier duty tire as well. 1 year, no questions asked warranty on these tires. If you have a blowout, catch road debris, catch a nail that punctures the side and can't be patched, they will stand behind it for 1 year from the day you purchase it. That's where it kicks in. That's not through Cimarron, it's through their wheel and tire vendor. We can help you out with that. So again, it's not actually through Cimarron. But this air ride system, so we have rubber torsion axles with a shock kit. So if something happens to that line, that compressor, a bag, it sits down on these rubber torsion axles and get where you need to. The old air ride systems, you couldn't move the trailers. So much better system. So if you do run into an issue, you can go get it addressed and not be stuck, you know, right there where the trailer's sitting. Now, to the flip side of what it actually does for our horses. It is an investment. It will cost you some upgraded money to have this system, but believe me, it's well worth it. And again, talk to a number of our customers that pull these. The most common thing is they say, we'll never own another trailer without air ride. That's how much they believe in it at that point. But you have a large investment you're putting on this trailer, money, time, in your horses. We want them to go to the event and compete at the highest level, so why not give them every opportunity to do that? Give them the air ride itself. We've done some videos on how it operates, but more importantly, we've done a video on, you know, with horses loaded, just watching them. There's a video that I love. It was on a slant load, but there's a gelding in the middle. He's standing with this system down, so no air ride on, and as they're traveling, he's spread out to brace himself, ears pinned, not happy, kicking that hip wall like crazy. We flipped the air ride on, do the exact same path. It was like a totally different horse we loaded on there. Stood square underneath himself, totally relaxed, ears forward, not making a sound, not kicking. So do that for 5 to 6 hours. He's gonna be exhausted and tired, and just the wear and tear of just the road jolts on his joints or whatever horse you have on there. Let's have him step off this trailer fresh, ready to go compete at the highest level. And that's what you get with air ride. And again, we've got numbers of customers we could have you talk to about what they feel the benefits are. Okay, on the top rail, we did some button lights, and you're also gonna have a 16-inch awning light over here, kind of about the center of the axles. They shoot down and out. It's not the pedestal style, so they protrude up where like a tree can knock them off. Not to say that couldn't be knocked off, but it's gonna be a lot tougher than those pedestal styles. You're gonna have a big bus window over the hip of the horse. I've got it kind of shut right now behind this Dutch door. But as you can see, Cimarron did a great job on trying to get as big a window as we can, because with bus windows, only half of them open. So we get a lot of airflow from those drop-down feed doors. There's, again, a window in that fold-up door on the ramp. And we'll show you what we've got on the other side as well. Windows in these Dutch doors at the rear of the trailer as well. They fold around with a wraparound style hinge, so they get out of the way. And then at the back here, you have your rear ramp, again, with those Dutch doors. Look, if you want to run with those Dutch doors open, you can. You can actually even lock them with the style that Cimarron's done on there if you want a little bit more airflow. But even if you want to shut them up, open up those sliding back, bus windows, create more airflow there. If you notice the tail lights, you might be like, what is that white X? So what that is that's actually a backup light. So our backup lights on our trucks are worthless. Long ways away. This trailer's over 24 foot on the floor. You're gonna get home, you're gonna get to unfamiliar places in the dark. It's nice to throw it in reverse, have those guys kick on. You can kind of see what you got going on back here. Then you're gonna have two 8-inch awning lights at the top, so more load lights at the back. And then you might be like, what is that up there? Well, that is a rear spoiler. So that rear spoiler actually does serve some purposes. One, we like to joke you have the fastest trailer out there. But really, what it does is, if you live down dirt roads, whether it's passenger vehicle, trailers, anything like that, if you get to the back of it, you'll notice like a film of dirt on your back bumper of your truck. I can usually tell if customers live down dirt roads because I can open up their 7-pin plug and they'll be just covered in dirt. And I go, yeah, you live down a dirt road, because it wants to collect back there. And that's what happens is air gets to the back of these trailers and it just kind of swirls. So that spoiler will actually force the air down and away from the trailer itself. So our GM actually has some snowmobile trailers, and he has that. And he says when he travels, I mean, it's typically bad roads. When he travels and gets to the parking lot, the back of his trailer is almost spotless, to where everyone else's trailer at the back is just covered in, you know, snow and ice and mag chloride and all that gunk. So it does really force the air down and away from the trailer itself. Okay, now as we go in, I want you to pay attention, because this butt bar here, again, this is 7'10" tall. So we know you're gonna put some big horses on here. So over the last couple years, we started noticing we might get a trailer coming in where this bar, you know, with the pad, you don't really notice it as much, but the bar might have a little bow to it. And we're like, well, what the heck? Well, these guys here were set at 43 inches off the floor. And we started looking around at all our standard trailers, and that's where they were as well. So on our inventory on these trailers, we actually went and made a 49-inch from the floor to the bar itself, because we understand your big warm bloods are a lot taller than little quarter horses or anything like that. So this bar does need to be up. What they were doing was when it was lower, they were just basically kind of sitting on these bars and putting pressure on them. So our butt bars, we put at 49, and then we put our chest bars at 46. Again, they were both at 43. We moved them up just a hair. We moved that one up. We talked to a number of transporters, in fact, customers of ours that, you know, send horses all over this country and are constantly using these trailers, even their van trailers. And they said, hey, you know, pretty much everything's at 46, 49. And so we made those adjustments to our inventory just for that reasoning, is because of these bigger horses. So on this center divider, we've got a lot going on here. First and foremost, you're gonna notice pads, and then it's a stud divider. So it's got the padding, got the stud divider, and then jail bars. So it's one nice big solid piece. And this is where this gets really fun and unique with this trailer, because sometimes we get some customers that say, you know, I need to remove my divider. You know, I might be hauling, you know, I mare and foals, I want some box stalls, you know, something along those lines. Well, then it's a two-person job to unpin it, carry it out, and then you got to figure out what to do with it. Well, all I have to do is unpin it from the floor and the ceiling and slide it over. So it's on this track. So if I wanted to make a box stall, have a second box stall, maybe I want to load a golf cart or something else in this front box stall area. This post removes as well. I pull it up there, park it, put this guy back in, slide it back over, and you're in business. But this guy here will slide over, store against the wall. As you saw, it glides really easily because it actually goes off of these rails up top. And where this concept came from is it came from our show cattle trailers, because they are gates that go across. So our rails actually run the length of the trailer. We thought for this instance, let's flip it, have the ability to slide it over. Once we started doing this, boy, our other trailers with like a fixed or the one removable to where you have to unpin it and have somebody help you. I mean, now we carry about, I would say about 5 of these trailers on hand, on the inventory at all times, and one kind of more of just the standard, but you can see how it's flipped. And again, majority of these guys are that air ride suspension, but as you saw how easy it was to slide that guy out of the way, and then again, you just slide it where you want to and pin it back in. You have kick mats all the way around. We've got more LED lights in here. These are the OptiBrite style lights. This is something we constantly are putting on our trailers, or trying to, based on availability of the product. But Cimarron made it standard on the 25 models, puts out a lot of light, not a big power draw. In my opinion, it's the only way to go. I'm glad they made it standard because we're big fans of it, but plenty of light coverage in here, just like on the outside of the trailer I was showing you. We have some two-way roof vents. We've got a couple above these horses here, and then two at the front of the actual box stall as well. So we can kind of, again, manipulate that airflow, you know, throughout the trailer. Again, you even have, even on these guys, you have jail bars. So we're really trying to get as much airflow, try to, you know, stay away from things that are solid that can just affect that. With this roof, this is standard on every single Cimarron, whether it's this trailer, a living quarters, or a bumper pole. It really does make a difference. And where it really makes a difference is in the stall area temperature. So you come out here on really hot days, we'll take you to one manufacturer with aluminum sheeted roof. You feel the heat, it's all sealed up. With a horse trailer, we'll walk you over to Cimarron, throw you in it, and you go, oh wow, I can really tell a difference. 20% cooler than aluminum sheeted roofs. And on top of that, it's stout. So it can take 150 pounds per square foot. I can walk on it, it won't dent, so it takes substantial hail. Your trailer gets hail damage, it's gonna affect your trade-in value or resale value. So, you know, it's really worth the investment from just protecting your product and your equipment itself with it, but more importantly, trying to keep our horses nice and cool and comfortable. So we go from the roof and we'll go to the floor. We'll flip over to that side of it. What you've got is you're looking at the Werm flooring. So instead of rubber mats that you have to pull out, and then with these notches in the floor for the traveling divider to lock into, boy, you want to talk about a pain trying to get those mats back in how they originally were when they got fit and cut for this trailer, or just even yanking them out and power washing it and cleaning it out. It's not fun wrestling those mats. So this has got Werm flooring, so it's permanent, unpenetrable rubber mat. It'll protect the floor underneath it forever. This stuff is fantastic. We've been doing this to so many trailers over the last couple of years, not just from custom orders, but our inventory. So just like this trailer sitting here. Now underneath it is going to be the best floor in the industry by Cimarron. So it's a 12-inch extruded deck piece that locks in high and low. So tongue and groove, 2 points of locking versus one that has the ability to flex a little bit more. But more importantly, in that 12-inch deck piece, you have 4-inch centers with a V-truss. So this floor, wherever you have a horse standing on this floor that we're looking at, they are standing on a support beam. So it, again, the best floor in the market. You want to tell high quality of build of a trailer, crawl underneath and look at the floor. Centers start spreading out. It's typically a cheaper made trailer. You will start to get those pits where urine can collect, start to corrode. Not on these guys. These guys are nice and stout, and that's what you get. And again, we finished it off with that Werm flooring for you. All right, as we make our way to driver's side, same thing. There's that wraparound Dutch door at the rear, nice big bus window over the hip, drop down feed door, and that jail bar. Another 16-inch awning light, positioned the same spot on the other side, right around that wheel well area. And then if you notice going in that box stall, we've got that access door going in there with the chest bar over there. We put a couple tie rings in that first box stall, so if you did want to put a couple horses in there, you can. With it, you're gonna have a drop down feed door on there as well. So again, we can get more airflow into this stall area. This one's gonna be a touch smaller than the others, but that's because it's built into this door itself and we have to worry about the framing there. Welded hinges with grease zerks on all these guys. These are really stout. What you'll see of welded hinges on really well-made trailers. Cimarron took it a step further because it's got grease zerks that you can actually maintain yourself. So if you start getting something needs some lubricant, you can put it in there. You'll see this brass ring right here in the middle. Well, there's a rod that it's attached to that goes the full length of this. And it's got a groove cut into it like a swirl, like a candy cane. So if you put grease to this and open and close it, it's actually wanting to force that grease throughout the entire hinge, to where a lot of those welded hinges you have to try to figure out how to get them to take lubricant of some sort. You know, you have to heat them up, try to get it in that way. I've seen people drill holes in these guys to try to get it in there and that kind of gravity take it down from there. But with Cimarron, you can actually just go ahead and take care of it yourself. Has the fold-up step going into that area as well on the gas shock. So as you can see, really easy to operate, flipping up and down. But what a well-equipped 2+1. I mean, this guy has about every bell and whistle you could think of on it. So again, we've got this one, we've got a black one, and then we've got some others, you know, different versions of it, and we got more on order. So if you want to custom build something, we can, but usually these guys are pretty well equipped, and guys really like the way they're set up to where they're more than happy to just buy it off the lot. So I'm going to give you the stock number for reference. Again, it's a 2025 Cimarron Norstar Warmblood 2+1 with air ride, 5N241349. We do take trades, so if you're looking to upgrade or downsize, we can help you there. Financing is available and delivery is an option, so we could potentially just bring this trailer to you. So give us a call. Anybody on the sales team can help you out. That number is 303-684-3400. Appreciate you tuning in. Have a good day.